$1 million used to be enough for your dream home. Is it even close today, especially here in Denver? Colorado was just titled a $1 million market. Let's talk about what that means for you. Hey everybody, it's Alyson, your real estate strategist and realtor for the South Denver area. Colorado just ranked number 6 on Zillow's list of $1 million markets, and our state has 21 different towns and cities on that list. So what is up with this large $1 million number? Well, obviously, much of it has to do with Colorado's unparalleled lifestyle. The dry air, the Rocky Mountains, the ability to be outdoors. Even if you're in a suburb within just a few minutes, we dedicate so much of our money and infrastructure to open space. And then, of course, our mountains. For those of us who are down here on the Front Range and we feel like we're surrounded by city and people all the time, it is easy to forget just how much open land we have to our east, where it feels like Kansas, and to our beautiful west, where all the mountains are. But that $1 million number here in Denver is not all about lifestyle. We have a strong job market, high earning potential, a big ratio of STEM jobs, which are high earning potential jobs. We have low inventory in our housing market, which continues to push those prices up. And then it is that lifestyle piece. So many people moving here from either the other desirable place in the country, which is California, with weather everyone wishes they could have almost everywhere, but without some of the things going on in California, or moving here from places like Texas and the South, where they are leaving that sweltering heat, those bugs. I grew up in Florida, so I will just go on and on about all the things you get to leave behind when you come here from the South. Now, this $1 million feels huge, but the thing is, from 2023 to 2024 in Zillow's report, Colorado and the city of Denver did not have an increase in the number of our $1 million cities. Now, when we look at this graphic from Zillow for metro areas that had increases from 2023 to 2024 for $1 million markets, there are so many spots that had increases in markets we'd expect. New Jersey, California, the coasts. But we did not see that here in Denver, which continues to reinforce the message that I share, that Denver is a bargain market. We are just about the most expensive market that is non-coastal, but the reason we see the influx we do and the prices that we have here for housing is that people from those coastal areas, these larger cities, these high value, good job market cities are coming here, and they continue to see us as a value, and you get so much lifestyle here that people cannot find elsewhere or are replicating from some of these beautiful places. All right, now setting all the rah-rah aside, because yes, I do love living here. I would never really want to go back to the South. I have lived here now much longer than I lived there. What does this mean for you? If we're talking about Colorado being $1 million state and Denver being $1 million market, and yes, I'm gonna dive into the specific markets and let you kind of see what those are. But what is the reality for you as a seller? That's typically good news. And as a buyer, that tends to bring up a little bit of like cringe moment, maybe a little discomfort. The first question I want to answer is, does Denver still have value? Have we gotten overvalued? Are we overpriced? I would say no, not at all. We've already really gone through our correction from COVID. We're on the way back up in our prices. And the earlier you can buy when a market is heading back up, it's always better. So we had a median price increase 2 years ago when we did year-over-year change of 0% on our median. 2024 versus 2023, we saw 4.5% increase in home prices. I am anticipating we're going to see the same thing for 2025 over 2024. So it's going to be modest compared to what we've had on a 15-year average, which is 7% annual home price increase. Now is the time, if you have the flexibility and you can kind of pick and choose. That's not always the case. I've got people who are looking 3 years out. But if you have the ability to say, I want to get in sooner, I want to move now, then I would say capitalize on that. If you have the ability to get in under $1 million and watch your home appreciate to over $1 million, absolutely do it. The timing conversation is such an important one. I was just having this conversation. Somebody that I've been working with for almost 2 years emailed me again this week and said, hey, we're thinking we might re-up our lease for another year and not buy till September 2026. Here's what we're thinking. If we buy this year, we think our budget's around $700, but we really like homes that are $800, and that's what we could buy next year. And I said, I totally get it. Let's talk through this. So I asked, what does it look like if you buy next year? Are you just increasing your down payment? Does your income increase? So I asked them some really thoughtful questions, but then I just laid out right in front of them some basic math. Hey, if you like an $800,000 home this year, here's what I'm anticipating for home price increases this year. And then if you don't buy until September 2026, you're going to have realized almost all of the home price increase for that year. We usually see it all in the first 6 months. Let's just say it's 6% because we're anticipating a stronger year going into 2026 and beyond. So we do that and calculate that math out on an $800,000 home today. They would need to budget $875, $890, at the low end $850 if the house wasn't as nice as they want, up to $900. So I just asked the question, does that math work for you? Are you going to be there September 2026? Then we did the math on what a home, if they just went ahead and bought this year in a right for right now house, what that would be in 2 years with those same numbers. Live in it for 5 and just accrue some appreciation and then move on to the next house. I'm not sure yet what they're going to do. They've got a baby on the way. They've got all sorts of things going on. But think through all the scenarios of whether you buy now or wait. Sellers, I am not leaving you out of this conversation. You may be wondering, is there enough buyer interest to support if I list my house over $1 million? I'm not talking about the $3 and $4 million market. There's interest there too. But over $1 million, up to 1.5, what is the buyer interest? Right now, even as we enter the early part of 2025, the $1 to $1.5 million segment is flying off the shelves. It is actually going under contract for new listings the fastest. Of all the price segments, we are seeing that segment for new listings, not the stale stuff, get snatched up quickest. So buyers, that might clue you in too, but sellers feel confident. And always prepare your house for market, please. I am so happy to talk to you about that, but you've got to make it look good. Okay, now, as we talk about Colorado being $1 million market and Denver being $1 million market, let's lay out some facts, right? All of a sudden our mind might be going, oh my gosh, everything is over $1 million. What is the reality? In the past year, 17% of home sales in Denver were $1 million or greater. For the entire Denver metro area, not just Denver proper, 12% of sales were $1 million or more. And then when we look down here in Douglas County, which is the majority of South Denver, not all of it, 16% of sales were $1 million or greater. So we are not talking about the majority of home sales being over $1 million, but it is absolutely not uncommon. All right, let's reveal who made Zillow's list of $1 million markets. The usual suspects top the list: Aspen, Telluride, Vail. Almost 2/3 of the entire list are mountain areas. Then we have one spot in Boulder County, but it is not Boulder itself. I had to really look at this data. I actually want you to, if you're curious, go look at this video. It is most expensive zip codes in the Denver metro area. So we have all the mountain areas covering about 2/3 of the list, the one spot in Boulder, and then an entire third of this list, 7 different places, are in South Denver. South Denver really is the general hub of luxury, higher price point in the Denver metro area. We've got Cherry Hills Village. This one came in number 2 on the list behind Aspen. I talk all the time about what a luxury spot Cherry Hills Village is. This is proof. Aspen, then Cherry Hills Village in the list of 21 most expensive spots in Colorado. Then we have Bomar. We have Columbine Valley. Both Bomar and Columbine Valley, I loop into my tours of Littleton because these small little enclaves that do have their own identity, Columbine Valley has its own government. They are so small that I just loop them into the Littleton area because that is kind of what they're surrounded by. You would not unless you knew about them, find them on a map, and think they were anything other than a neighborhood. Then we have Greenwood Village, which we talk about a lot in conjunction with Cherry Hills Village because of proximity. Foxfield, Genesee, and Franktown. Now, Genesee is beautiful treed land up between Golden and Evergreen, and then Foxfield and Franktown are treed acreage that is to the east of Parker. I am hoping a wave of relief has washed over those of you who don't want to spend $1 million because you realize that the median price for Castle Rock and Parker and Highlands Ranch and Centennial did not make the list. There are so many family-friendly new construction spots where you do not have to spend $1 million to get what you want. Let me tell you, the factor that binds these $7 million plus places together, the tie that binds, is acreage. Now, it is not just larger lots for Cherry Hills Village that is making it the second most expensive spot in the state. It is luxury, it is custom homes, it is the fact that it is situated in such a nice spot in town, but nobody is close together. You are not butt up against a neighbor without any elbow room. There is something special about that spot. In Greenwood Village, you have space. In every single one of these spots, you have breathing room, you have acreage, you have trees, unless you are on something that's a little further out where trees just have a hard time growing or you have to plant them. All of these have space and you are paying for the space. That is what the sticker price is. If you're a water lover, let me recommend Bomar. You actually have a beach, you have a marina, you can boat, and you have beautiful mid-mod homes on larger lots. So there's an extra bonus for you. So what does your money get you here in the market? This video went over the entry price points for new construction here in Denver. You can certainly go up from there, but you generally can't get anything new construction for less than that, at least in the South Denver market. So that one might be really helpful for you. If you're willing to spend $1 million on a new build, you're generally going to get something that's roughly a 5-bed, 5-bath. It could certainly be smaller, won't generally be bigger, about 4,500 square feet, a 3-car garage. The odds of it having a walkout basement are pretty low, and your location is going to generally be Parker or Castle Rock. To move over toward that Littleton side, Foothill side, you need to raise the price to get closer to the foothills if you want something in that size. If you want $1 million over there, you're gonna have to shrink your footprint. Now, in the existing home market, here is just a sampling of what $1 million could get you. You're looking at homes from Castle Rock to Littleton, spanning across all of South Denver. You're looking at homes that have been built over the course of 50 years. We have got homes from the 60s to homes in the 2010s, so a wide range. Some of these homes are in HOAs that are rich with amenities. Some have very little to offer, except that they might not be in an HOA, which you might really prefer. We have got move-in ready and so well cared for homes that you wouldn't have to lift a finger. And then we've got older homes that are well cared for if they're in this $1 million price point typically, but might need some remodeling just because they don't suit your tastes. One of the things nearly every $1 million plus home will have in common is that it is in a desirable area. It is hard to find a home priced at $1 million, even if it needs work, that's not in a desirable area. If realistically $1 million isn't your budget, $750,000 in the South Denver area is often what I find people comfortable with for a starter home. It's a hard thing to say, to put $750,000 and starter home together in a sentence for a lot of people. But for this market, that is often a comfortable number to get most of the things that are wanted and not have to come in and put in a lot of money. Because if you come in at $650,000, I find my folks going, gosh, I have to put in like $60,000, so why don't I just try to increase my purchase budget? So somewhere around that $750,000 mark, and a home that fits their needs short-term and for at least 6-ish years tend to go together. And that's going to get you a home that's somewhere between 2,500 and 4,000 square feet, depending on layout, whether it's ranch, 2-story, location. And it's generally going to be between 2 and 3 garage bays, 3 to 4 bedrooms, maybe a 5th or an office, but that is rare. And a walkout basement could be iffy at this price point. If you pushed up to 1.5 million, the options open up. I am talking evergreen, golden, new builds, Greenwood Village, acreage, semi-custom options, high-end move-in ready homes. Denver has something for just about everyone. I have had people walk away because they can't get what they want on their budget, but we have a lot across a wide variety of price points. With the official label of being $1 million market, looking ahead, can Denver sustain this? Can we sustain these prices? Will people still want to move here? Even with slowing rates of growth and an influx of people for Denver, the trends and the data say yes, we can. As I shared in the earlier part of this video, just between 2023 and 2024, which was supposed to be back when the big houses of real estate were projecting a year where there was loss in the overall real estate market, Denver grew 4.5%. And I'm anticipating we'll grow about that much again this year. The other thing I had shared was that just for the houses that have been listed in the million to 1.5 range as new listings in January, they are moving off the market fastest. 30% of those, it was just shy, like 28.9%, went under contract within the first week. So we are seeing that segment get snatched up. So buyers, should you stake your claim in our $1 million Wild West frontier? Well, if you are going to, sooner is always better than later. Time in the market is better than trying to time the market. And sellers, our market is showing itself to you that it is favorable to you and your $1 million listing, and it is going to continue to be. Start building your plan now to get the most ROI you can on this fantastic asset you have here in this market. Denver continues to deliver unparalleled value with a strong job market, fantastic weather, great lifestyle, opportunity for the outdoors that is rarely matched, and those mountain views that those of us who live here know do not get old. We know that our home prices are going to continue to grow and grow and grow. That $1 million is not just buying a house, it is buying access to all of that and creating a lifestyle. And for families, a lot of them, it is creating the lifestyle they want for their children. So many of them are looking for a place where their kids can go and play and have access to things they do not have access to in hot, sweltering environments where there is heat stroke and headache, or a concrete playground where they cannot have access to a blade of grass and flowers and squirrels and chipmunks and other outdoor animals. So this is creating something for people. It is not just putting down $1 million to have a roof over your head. Sellers, if you're ready to talk strategy about how to get the best ROI for your property in this fast-moving segment, please reach out. And buyers, if you want to talk about the right timing, the right segment, where you want to be, whatever the price point, I would also love to chat with you. It is always a pleasure to connect, and I will see y'all next week.